Okay, so it's finally happening. We have a real life celebrity PR romance, PR from the outset. Look, maybe love will evolve, but right now that's not what's happening.
Interesting.
And I'm talking about influencer Alix Earle, who is, has a podcast, very famously left Alex Cooper's podcast network.
Who I recently discovered from that episode we did about Alex Cooper's network that they are two separate people.
They're two separate people. She got massive on TikTok, as did like her family, became super famous. And
are they still having that feud publicly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, they haven't really. Nothing has happened since Alex Cooper put out that video being like, say what you got to say about me. Like, I'm so sick of this. And then Alix Earle wrote underneath, okay, on it, but it hasn't done anything
and
yet.
then we all thought that was a PR feud. And then it's
Well,
not.
I didn't, because that would be a crazy PR feud. People need to know that PR is done to get you goodwill or publicity.
I think it's an overused word in pop culture.
Yeah. And I think that whole thing is all publicity is good publicity is not good in this not in this day and age, but in any day and age. But Alix Earle, who we're talking about today, influencer Alix Earle, does have like a documentary series coming out with her family, so maybe it'll be addressed in that. She was also like got a lot of goodwill because she nearly won Dancing with the Stars the last season with Robert Irwin, and people loved her from that. But at the moment, she is stepping out and about with your favorite musician, Benson Boone.
He's not my favorite musician.
Yeah, because don't you hate him?
The day he stops flipping will be the day he becomes my favorite musician.
I mean, people know him from Beautiful Things, because that is a banger of a song. And he got his start in like American Idol and then became like this kind of musician heartthrob. Do you remember that?
Musician/acrobat.
Yeah. Well, that's his whole thing is he wears a sparkly outfit.
Yeah, he's got like a moustache.
Yeah.
Leotard, backflips off the
And he
piano.
gets really upset when people say anything about his backflips. He's like a bit emotional about it.
Why?
Well, he doesn't like people to make fun of him. Because remember Renee Rapp and Amy Poehler, when they did Amy Poehler's podcast, were just like, it's pretty like embarrassing when men backflip. And there's only one man in the public sphere backflipping.
Yeah.
and he responded and was like, hey.
He made a statement.
So he made a statement. He was like,
on behalf of backflips.
He's like, I reserve the right to backflip as much as I want. My body, my choice.
I respect that. You do deserve the right to backflip. I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, you reserve the right to look away. So the reason these two are in the headlines at the moment is they are out and about for dinner.
Is he backflipping?
He's backflipping
to dinner.
That would actually be so fun. I would love that.
I think what's worse than backflipping publicly on stage is backflipping on a date and making her watch.
Yeah.
That's worse.
Yeah, it gives look at me mum energy.
Yeah.
You don't want that in a date. Well, there's no video or photos of him backflipping, but there are a lot of videos and photos. That's our first clue. There's a lot of videos and photos of Alix Earle and Benson Boone out and about having a dinner date, and they went to Craig's. Or Craig's if you're in the US.
Craig's.
Because you know how we pronounce that like so differently.
Yes. My dad's name is Craig and no one understands. I think that's mainly because he has a bit of an Indian accent, but he says Craig like the US way and no one understands.
I think Australia is one of the few places that says kind of Craig.
Yeah, we really emphasize the A.
Anyway, Craig's is, I'm just going to say it in my own accent. Craig's is a spot that I have been aware of since I was like 15, never been there, because it is one of the big celebrity hotspots in the US.
What kind of food did they serve?
Unsure.
It's giving steakhouse.
I think it's just like, I've never heard anyone be like, I'm going for the food. This is our clue. No one says I'm going for the food.
Right.
You go to be seen.
Got it.
Because it's one of those places in LA where paparazzi are like outside all the time.
So you're guaranteed to get papped.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those places that I've heard a lot of people, like the people kind of like me, like the desperados who were just going to LA to see celebs would go early.
Right.
And then once they clear out, then they let the celebs in.
So it's kind of like the Chateau Marmont.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those places is like and there's no, from my understanding, no like underground parking, no way to sort of slip in through the back.
So you have to go.
You have to do a pap walk out the front, which is fun. Like a lot of people go there to get papped and that's part of their night out. So that's where Alix Earle and Benson Boone went. They also kind of like, again, this is why we think it's a PR relationship, because they were photographed walking in. They look like they expected photographers to be there. Like they look kind of like, they're not trying to like rush in through a side door or anything like that. They're smiling at the photographers. They're smiling at each other. They're sort of holding poses, kind of like when Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster announced their relationship through
and it looks like they're doing like a cover shoot.
Yeah, through pat photos. Yeah. It's like if you know you're being photographed and the photographs are for something, then you hold yourself in a different way. You can always tell when a celeb is like, what? When they're surprised by a photo.
So how do you know the difference between them doing it for PR versus a genuine couple who just want to show everyone that they're together? Because I think that's where I was conflicted with Meryl Streep and Martin Short.
Yes. Okay. There are a few clues. So one is that like Benson Boone and Alix Earle spent a lot of time sort of being photographed in a very public area. So like she's getting in the car. He spends ages like opening the car door for her, closing it. He then like stands next to the car to make sure they get the shot. Mm-hmm. He then walks it around the side, gets in the car, and they just look very comfortable. Martin Short and Meryl Streep, like there had been rumors about them for such a long time.
Right.
And that photo came out much later. And it was just one of those moments where the car just turned somewhere that they happen to be photographers, and they're kind of laughing, but so they're probably just like, we don't care at this stage.
Yeah.
Like, it's been an open thing for ages that people know that we're together. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to look at like what they'll get out of it. Martin Short and Meryl Streep, they're not getting anything out of dating except each other's company. Yeah. Like no one's going to be like, oh my God, Meryl Streep is really hot right now because she's dating Martin Short. Or you know what I mean? Like there's no kind of like, or he's not going to get like his show renewed or something like that.
Meryl Streep's so hot right now.
Yeah. No, but they have such a huge body of work, and the people that come and see their work are not going to be the people that are swayed by them being in a whole bunch of TikToks, being in pat photos.
We're all just really happy.
Yeah, like Meryl Streep and Martin Short, their currency is not that type of publicity. Yeah. Their currency are their names.
So this only works for people who need the currency to be.
Yeah, whereas Alix Earle and Benson Boone, I think also when your audience can skew a bit younger in this sense, like their audience would very much be like they have to feed the news cycle a bit. Also, TMZ reported a little while ago that Alix Earle was starring in Benson Boone's new music video, and that she was like a big part of that, and that they had been filming that behind the scenes. So like that came out, and it wasn't official because it's meant to be a secret, but it was like confirmed to a lot of different sources. And so, I mean, there is a world in which they met on the music video, fell in love and are dating, but the timeline is questionable. Now they're going out and about and they're not kissing. There's no like big rumors. So it's almost like when you're doing a PR relationship, one, you have to have something to gain.
Yeah.
So she has projects coming out. He has new music coming out. They want people to go and watch this music video when it comes out to see if they can see their chemistry. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Like they never really wanted us to think they were dating because they were both in relationships. They kind of peppered little moments in so that everyone would go and see Anyone But You because we wanted to see the chemistry on screen. So yeah, the rules for a PR relationship, you have to have something to gain. Mm-hmm. That's not just a bit of exposure, because exposure, unless it's pushing someone to go watch something, doesn't really do anything for you. Like the news cycle goes so quickly. 2 is that you have to have an easy out. Like those people who like fake, like people say that they fake relationships for years and years on end. They walk red carpets together. Those are not PR relationships because the fallout is quite extensive for them.
Yeah.
And the PR fallout is more to deal with than what they got for their project.
That's so true.
If that makes sense.
Which is what I think like happened kind of with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, because they were both in relationships with people who also realized that we also have a platform, which is the whole thing about Glenn Powell's ex-partner putting out that statement.
Yeah.
Whereas with Benson Boone, like he's broken up with his long-term partner, Alix Earle, single. So I think it's easier to like fuel these rumors and like be obsessed with this relationship because there's no stakes really.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you never completely confirm you're together, you never sort of make your relationship too overt, or you never sort of put emotional stakes on it, then you can exit it and there's no villain. Because the thing is, people aren't going to do a PR relationship if one of them comes out of it looking like a villain, or if they have to answer a whole bunch of questions about it. It's like people saying like, oh, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater were just dating for Wicked PR. It's just all promo for the movie, and now the movie's over, they've broken up. And I was like, do you guys think that they both went through divorces?
No.
Had a cheating scandal.
Cheating allegation.
Had half of their press tour for this movie that was meant to be like magical love, and which it is. Obviously, I'm the biggest Wicked fan ever.
Have their ex-partners tweeting about it.
Yeah, and have all this speculation. Like for what?
Yeah.
To have a few extra headlines about a movie that was already having a huge global press tour.
Yeah.
It's again, and then having to like like now have all the breakup rumors and like those stories coming out. And eventually Ariana in particular, because she does a lot of big press, is going to have to answer those questions in their heart. And it's kind of like overshadowing the start of her tour.
Yeah, that's so true.
So it's like, why would you do that for? Also, stars get paid for their movies. They get paid for their press tour. Some celebrities, you can barely get them to sit down in a chair, do an interview, do a little quiz, answer a little question. Do you really think they're going to spend all of their free time, like those high-level stars, all of their free time getting papped on the streets?
That's so true.
For a movie that they're like, I got paid.
I was thinking with this relationship in particular, in a way they are still playing it safe because they both, in my head, live in the same realm.
Yes.
Whereas like PR relationships that for me were very like, oh my God, how is this happening? It was like Grimes and Elon Musk or like a Ben Affleck and an Ana de Armas where I was like, these live in like completely different spheres of my head. Like they don't exist in the same plane for me. And I think those like big shock value PR ones are the ones that are like will constantly have people talking about for years to come.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of need an air of like, did they or did they not? That's the perfect PR relationship, which is kind of where Alix and Benson are at the moment. And again, maybe sometimes I do believe a PR romance can flourish into a bit of a real romance, but the perfect kind of way to leave it is like to have a few little sightings, like a few little pap sightings, a few little dinner sightings, and have it like, did they not? Because then you never have to explain a breakup. No one's a villain, and then they'll get the promo. But once they announce themselves as a couple, then it's harder to detangle.
Yeah. You know which stars do this perfectly?
Who?
All the Disney stars.
Yeah, I think the Disney kids have got this down.
The Jonas Brothers and every girl they've dated.
Do you think that some of those were PR romances?
I think
like
they
which one?
all were. Well, I think Nick Jonas and Miley was PR, but I think she actually really liked him.
Yeah.
I think Nick Jonas and Selena Gomez was PR.
Yeah.
I think Joe Jonas and Demi was PR. And I think it would have been like all set up by like these adults, which is kind of weird.
Well, we know that like, and a lot of big Hollywood stars have said this, that their managers do set them up with people. And half the time it's not even PR, but it's like before Raya, which even the big stars aren't on. How else do you meet people? You have your publicist or your manager, like you say to them, oh, I kind of like that guy. Yeah. And then they'll reach out to the other manager and see if you guys want to hang out. Like that's often how it happens. But I think a lot of the time you're right with the Disney stars. They'll be like, just go to an event together or just do this together. And it's also
just
innocent.
Dance together on a dance floor.
Yeah, exactly. So we're sort of seeing that PR relationship.
Who do you think pays for the dinner in a PR relationship?
So
do you think they invoice it to their management?
Maybe their publicity teams
so funny.
do. Yeah, they get the invoice. They're like, okay, I did what you said. Here's the Craig's bill. Here's the valet bill. And I wonder if they kind of drive around the corner and then Alix Earle gets out and gets into her own car.
Yes.
Or if he actually, I think a lot of the time a PR relationship works when you're both a bit friendly.
Like friends.
Yeah, and you both know what it is.
Oh, God, it'll be awful if you hate them.
Well, I think that does happen too. Like you hear whispers of celebs say like, oh, my publicist told me to like stand next to him on the carpet, but he was a bit of a jerk. We sometimes have like stars come out and say like there's some that like you're kind of like, oh, that was just a bit, not even a PR relationship, just a little PR moment. Like Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler for Caught Stealing. Remember how they kept getting papped? Like it was always like walking in somewhere in the lobby of like something, standing close, but again, never actually kissing, never actually holding hands. It was never confirmed. So it was so easy for the two. And I don't know if even Zoe Kravitz was doing it, but I feel like someone was sort of pushing that narrative of like, are these two dating or not? So that we'd go and see the movie. But because they never overtly dated, there was no big breakup fallout.
That's so true. I remember the same thing happened with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson for Naked Gun, where they were very much like into each other and were like, especially all the press tour they were doing together, they were always like holding hands and hugging each other and kissing. And then they literally admitted they were like, yeah, it was promo for the movie.
Exactly. I think what happened with that one is that, they were everyone's like, do this for PR. Because there was a lot of stakes with that movie of like, it's either going to set the scene for all these other comedies to be made or it's going to flop and Hollywood's going to like shut this particular like movie making thing down, this particular genre of film. So the stakes were really high. I actually think that they lent into the PR side of it because they're also both naturally a bit like that, like very affectionate kind of thing. And then I think they actually did have a bit of feelings there.
Yeah, because they were so cute
I
together. I love them like the idea of them together. I
think that it was PR. Then once the press tour stopped, they took the relationship for a bit of a spin in real life and were like, oh, this is not this is not it.
The rom-com writes itself.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson was like, this is not it for me. Because she's the one that we can kind of tell that got a bit burnt and like disentangled herself from the situation. Do you want to know some celebs that have admitted to doing staging PR relationships?
Yes, please.
This was a lot from the early 2000s.
Okay.
This is the golden age of staging a celebrity relationship.
We're trying something new.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is when tabloid culture was like at an all-time high. A lot of celebrities had learned how to kind of control it. Like they knew where to go. They knew who to call for the pap photos. But the photos were only running in magazines. So they couldn't go and take off a big life story. Or like they were running on some websites, but it wasn't like there wasn't Instagram or TikTok or like this daily news cycle. There wasn't podcasts like this. So the story couldn't take off on its own. It was like the picture came out. Everyone was like, ooh, and then it kind of, that was it.
Right.
So Nicole Richie and Brodie Jenner said that they staged a PR.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. They staged a PR romance in 2006. And I remember that being like, that was like on the front page of every tabloid. It was such a big deal because Brodie Jenner was so famous from the Hills. And look, that man I've never met him, but in real, like he comes across as like just an absolute douche.
Yeah.
But hot.
He's fine.
Especially you weren't of age.
Okay.
When he was at the peak in the Heels era.
Okay. I need to see a photo actually.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll show you a photo. No, I think this man is like scum. I don't think he's like he's not got a good personality.
Yeah.
He's very entitled.
Well, this is in line with all of your celebrity crushes.
I know. Then he like did a guest spot on Keeping Up with the Kardashians because Caitlyn Jenner is his parent. Mm-hmm. And he was so whingy and whiny and entitled. And I was like, so get out of here.
And they're like, you're not making us any money.
Yeah, exactly. But also in his youth, hot as hell.
Interesting.
And still kind of hot now, which is so annoying.
Yeah, he is a bit hot now.
But the personality's killed it for me. But anyway, and this is when Nicole Richie, like she's a Nick girl now, but she was the ultimate Nick girl.
Yeah. She was a Zoe bot, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Rachel Zoe was her stylist, but also she was everyone dressed like her. Everyone was obsessed with her.
The big glasses.
Like the vintage.
Extremely, extremely thin.
Yeah.
And just like these like drapes of clothes.
I know so many people that got the same tattoos as her. I don't even have a tattoo and I only got a rosary bead around my ankle.
Oh no.
I can't tell you how famous she was. So in 2006, they started getting papped together at it, like, you know, out and about at events at Craig's.
Like Craig's?
Yeah, they did.
Oh my God.
And then later on, Nicole, when she was like her truth-telling era, she put up a post on MySpace, flashback, and she was like, the truth is we were never really together. We hung out. He's a nice guy. My heart was never in it. Anything else was just a cry for publicity.
Slay.
And I was like, girl, that's so true. But then it gets worse because Brodie Jenner then later confirmed that Spencer Pratt, who was like kind of like his publicity guru at the time, made him go out with Nicole and said, make sure that you get photos of the two of you together. Make sure it looks like you're getting her to eat because then when she recovers from her, yeah, I know. This is how intense. This is a bad PR romance because now it's hooked to someone's eating disorder.
Yeah.
And Spencer Pratt has come out and confirmed this, as has Brodie Jenner. They're like, make sure that there are images of you getting her to eat and eating with her or like handing her food so it looks like you're helping her overcome your addiction, then you're going to be. And Spencer Pratt, like his words, like, you're going to be the guy, and this is all in caps, you're going to be the guy that got Nicole Richie to eat. You'll be like a fucking hero in America.
Spencer Pratt is actually insane.
I know.
I'm so glad politics didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's not the mayor of LA. That's crazy. It happened with Nick Lachey and Kim Kardashian. Like Nick Lachey said afterwards that they came out from their movie date. There was like when they went in, there was no one there. This is when Kim Kardashian was like getting herself. And she has said that too. She's like, any photo op, I was there and I would help set it up. And she has said there's paparazzi in LA that Kim Kardashian still greets by name to this day. And she has said because they helped me back when I was getting to be a star. So she called the paps on her date with Nick Lachey.
She's been working
and
from
that
day
went
dot.
everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Rachel Bilson and Nick Viall. So they were having a bit of fun with the press when they staged going out together, the podcaster. But again, these are all...
The press is probably like, you guys keep making us look like idiots.
Yeah, exactly. The photographers get there and they're like, oh man.
Aww,
no,
they
love it. These photos they get paid. It's a win-win because they get paid so well for those photos. These celebrities get their like burst of publicity. And if it's just a one-off date, then no one gets hurt. It'll just adds to the mystery.
Yeah, it's just the journalists who are like, 10 reasons why this is a real relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Benson Boone and Alix Earle, wish them all the best. Cut to us in like a year talking about their wedding.
And they have like a child.
Yeah. Hey, if that happens, I'll be thrilled for them.
Yeah.
Because how cute if a PR romance turns into a real romance. But I think at the moment it's just for a bit of publicity and we love to see it.